With Archbishop Jonathan now aware of Carolina's divinity and pushing Celestia to reclaim her, the Empire moves quickly to protect her. Their solution is the Lumina Divinae, a new faith council of saints designed to establish Carolina's position and strengthen the Empire's religious influence. While Carolina carefully reviews the proposal, Edward casually interrupts with a completely different concern. He's busy enjoying a box of cookies he ordered from the shop she mentioned liking. Carolina is pleasantly surprised that he remembered her favorite and happily thanks him, giving the two a brief, sweet moment before they return to the serious business at hand. Interrupting their sweet moment, Theodore brings them back to reality and asks whether the documents for the Assembly of Nobles are ready. Carolina confirms everything looks good, but one issue remains: the number of nations invited to the Holy Flame ceremony. Theodore explains that, given the limited time and manpower, they can only accommodate 3 countries. The problem is deciding who deserves those spots. Edward casually suggests settling one by lottery, and Carolina admits that it might actually be a fair solution. To her surprise, Theodore immediately agrees, leaving Carolina wondering what he has in mind. Theodore clarifies the plan. One of the 3 invitations will be decided by lottery, making the selection completely impartial and leaving no room for complaints. Another spot naturally belongs to the saint's own nation, the Malcosian Empire. That leaves just 1 invitation, and Edward suggests setting clear conditions for it. Carolina quietly worries that her personal feelings might influence the decision, but before she can say anything, Edward notices her hesitation. He then proposes giving the final spot to Celestia, the kingdom hit hardest by recent natural disasters. His reasoning is simple: if the Lumina Divinae is truly meant to serve the people, those in need shouldn't be overlooked simply because they are poor. Theodore immediately agrees, and Carolina is deeply touched by their consideration, realizing that both men are thinking beyond politics and genuinely trying to help her homeland. Theodore suddenly realizes that he hasn't seen either Marissa or Owen lately. Carolina explains that as soon as the date for the Assembly of Nobles was decided, both of them immediately requested a day off, saying they had important business to handle. She never asked for the details, but now their sudden absence makes her curious, leaving her wondering what the two of them could possibly be doing right now. After a long while, Marissa finally meets her elder sister Maria, but instead of speaking, she simply stares at her. Maria quickly gets annoyed and tells her that if she keeps staring like that, she'll bore a hole through her face. She knows Marissa came here for a reason, and as sisters by blood, there's no point in hiding it. She clearly needs something from her. Marissa doesn't bother hiding her resentment, reminding Maria that she wouldn't have come to visit someone who once treated her so cruelly without a reason. Maria is surprised by how confidently her younger sister speaks now, but Marissa quickly changes the subject and asks about her married life with Duke Blake. Maria admits that although their marriage began as a political arrangement, Finn's sincerity gradually changed the way she saw the world, leaving her genuinely happy with him. Embarrassed to be sharing such personal feelings with her younger sister, Maria quickly realizes that this isn't why Marissa came. Marissa then reveals the real reason for her visit. She needs a favor from the woman who is now the wife of Duke Blake. Maria admits that she knows she treated Marissa terribly in the past, so she wants to do whatever she can to repay her, though she can't guarantee success. Marissa accepts that, but then reveals the condition. If Maria fails to secure her request, she will tell Duke Finley Blake everything about her past actions. Knowing Finley's strong sense of justice and hatred of those who mistreat the weak, Maria realizes the threat could destroy the life she has built. With no choice but to ask what Marissa wants, she receives a surprisingly simple demand: persuade Duke Blake to support the proposal at the upcoming Assembly of Nobles. Maria reluctantly agrees to try, but Marissa makes it clear that simply persuading Duke Blake won't be enough if he ultimately refuses to support the proposal. In that case, she will reveal everything about Maria's past. Maria panics at the thought of losing the life she has built, but Marissa reminds her that what she threatens to reveal is nothing compared to the cruelty Maria once showed her. Still, Marissa offers her a way out. If Maria fulfills the request, she will forgive her completely and take her secrets to the grave. Maria asks if she truly means it, and Marissa even offers to put the promise in writing. Maria refuses, trusting that despite everything, her younger sister has never been someone who breaks her word. Marissa accepts Maria's decision and prepares to leave, but before she can go, Maria finally drops her pride and sincerely apologizes for allowing jealousy to turn her against her own sister. She knows an apology can't erase the pain she caused, but she asks Marissa to believe that she truly regrets it. Marissa quietly accepts her apology, then leaves her with one final reminder. If Maria truly means it, she should grant the favor she came for. With that, Marissa walks away, leaving Maria to face the chance to finally make amends. At the same moment, Owen walks through the crowded streets, rereading the mysterious letter directing him to meet at Restaurant Rades at noon. When he arrives, the waiter welcomes him and asks if he has a reservation, but Owen simply mentions Drake Klein. The waiter freezes in shock, suddenly realizing who stands before him. Apparently, Owen is the very person Baron Klein has been waiting for, leaving Owen completely confused and demanding to know what the waiter means. The waiter leans closer and quietly reveals that Baron Klein comes to the restaurant twice a year, always orders a meal for two, and patiently waits until closing for someone who never shows up. The revelation leaves Owen stunned, but he wastes no time and asks to be taken to the Baron. The waiter quickly leads him through the restaurant and stops before a private guest room. Owen takes a breath, steps into the room, and immediately finds Baron Klein waiting for him. Without bothering with pleasantries, Owen sits down and starts devouring the food placed before him. The Baron calmly watches, remarking that Owen's favorite dishes haven't changed, which instantly catches him off guard. When Owen demands to know how he could possibly know that, the Baron reveals that he had always been watching him. That answer only stirs up old wounds. Owen remembers the suffering he endured back then and how the Baron would simply look away whenever he was being abused. Now, after all these years, Owen can't understand why the man who ignored his pain would suddenly summon him here, year after year sitting alone and waiting for someone who never came. The Baron finally lowers his head and gives Owen the apology he has carried for years. He admits that he watched their mother abuse Owen and did nothing, even though he was supposed to be the one protecting his younger brother. He had been too powerless to stand against her, but he knows that excuse cannot undo Owen's suffering. Still, despite his failure, one thing never changed. He had always cared about Owen, silently carrying his worry and guilt all these years. Owen quietly admits that he had always known his brother was looking out for him. He remembers how the Baron would pass his textbooks down to him after finishing them and even end his lessons with the tutor early, giving Owen a chance to ask questions. Back then, Owen was too busy surviving his mother's abuse to understand those small acts of kindness. But now, with the memories finally coming back to him, he struggles to understand why his brother cared when, to the rest of the family, Owen had always been treated as nothing more than an unwanted burden. Drake finally makes it clear that he had never once considered Owen an eyesore. In fact, Owen's determination had always impressed him. While he could have settled for doing the bare minimum, Owen pushed aside his pride and worked tirelessly to educate himself, even showing up to Drake's lectures because he genuinely wanted to learn. Watching his younger brother strive so hard inspired Drake to become a better person himself, eventually helping him reach his current position as a diplomat. Hearing this, Owen finally drops the formalities and calls him his brother, telling Drake that he has already done more for him than he realizes and has nothing left to blame himself for. The words leave Drake deeply moved, and the brothers quietly share a drink to their reconciliation before enjoying the meal together. Drake points out that Owen has turned down his invitations year after year, yet this time he finally came, meaning something important must have changed. Owen reveals that the upcoming Assembly of Nobles is the reason for his visit. He needs Drake to support a proposal that will be presented there, though he can't reveal the details just yet. Drake doesn't hesitate or demand an explanation. He simply agrees, making it clear that whatever Owen is asking for, he is willing to stand behind his younger brother. Owen is stunned by Drake's effortless agreement, reminding him that the Assembly of Nobles is about to make a decision that could shape the nation's future. But Drake doesn't hesitate. Since Owen considers the proposal important, Drake trusts his judgment completely. Relieved, Owen thanks his big brother, and when the time comes for Drake to leave, Owen admits how glad he is that they finally met again. Drake returns the sentiment, promises they'll see each other again, and climbs into his carriage, leaving Owen behind with a warmth he hasn't felt in years. Standing alone, Owen thinks he really should thank Princess Carolina, only for Marissa to suddenly appear behind him and catch him talking to himself. Startled, Owen is surprised to see her wandering around alone, and he quickly points out that a count's daughter shouldn't be going without a bodyguard. Marissa casually brushes it off, saying she sometimes enjoys walking through town by herself. Then, wasting no time, she gets straight to the point and asks whether Owen successfully persuaded Drake to support their proposal. Owen realizes that their sudden days off weren't a coincidence at all. They had both been working toward the same goal. He reveals that convincing Drake went better than expected and even left him with an unexpected revelation. Marissa is equally confident that her father will cooperate without much effort, but there's one piece she can't control: her elder sister Maria. Now, everything depends on whether Maria can somehow convince the Duke to stand with them. With both of them having done what they could, Owen decides there's nothing more to worry about for now. When Marissa prepares to head back, Owen points out that they're going the same way and offers to walk with her, refusing to let a count's daughter make the journey alone. Marissa quietly appreciates the gesture and follows beside him, while Owen simply smiles as the two of them make their way back toward the castle together. A few days later, as the Assembly of Nobles is underway, Carolina sits restlessly, hoping everything is going well. With Owen and Marissa already by her side, Owen brings up their recent visits to their respective elder siblings. Carolina is surprised to learn that they managed to persuade both of them to support the proposal at the next assembly. Remembering how strongly they had resisted meeting their families, she can't help but react with concern. Owen quickly reassures her, reminding her that Carolina was the one who gave him the courage to reconcile with his elder brother in the first place. Carolina is touched by Owen's words, while Marissa admits that she doesn't regret meeting her sister Maria either. She still can't bring herself to feel happy about the circumstances, but seeing Maria genuinely trying to change gave her some peace. Grateful for what both of them have done, Carolina sincerely thanks Owen and Marissa, telling them how happy she is to have them as her bodyguard and personal maid. Owen tries to brush it off, awkwardly insisting that they only did what they had to, but Carolina wants to repay their efforts. She promises to finish the handkerchief she started for Owen and even knit Marissa a scarf. Their simple thanks brings a gentle smile to Carolina's face, as she hopes these little gifts can properly show just how much she appreciates them. After a moment, a knock comes at the door, and Edward enters with Theodore. After apologizing for the delay, they finally bring the results Carolina has been waiting for. She thanks them for their efforts and asks about the meeting, prompting Theodore to reveal the outcome. The proposal to establish the Lumina Divinae has officially been approved. However, the victory comes with an unexpected compromise. The nobles strongly opposed one part of the original plan, forcing them to remove it and introduce a major change instead. Alongside the saintly trials, there will now be a separate selection exam to determine the candidates worthy of becoming saints. Carolina is caught off guard by the news, realizing that this additional examination has completely changed the path they had originally planned. Theodore explains that the selection exam will be conducted fairly, with every candidate properly assessed before choosing the most suitable representative. Carolina immediately grows nervous at the thought of another test, but Edward reassures her that someone with her abilities should have nothing to worry about. Theodore's concern is quite different. Carolina must be careful not to reveal too much of her divine power before the official announcement. In other words, she needs to hold back. Carolina isn't exactly thrilled by that idea, but Theodore assures her that he trusts her completely. When she finally asks when the exam will be held, Edward delivers the answer: 5 days from now. Carolina freezes at the sheer lack of time, realizing the next challenge is already right around the corner. Upon receiving the report, Archbishop Jonathan is stunned to learn that the Empire has established its own faith council of saints. His attendant confirms that the information is reliable, including the news that Princess Carolina is expected to take part in the upcoming selection exam. Jonathan immediately sees the true intention behind the move. They are trying to strengthen Carolina's position and shield her from his influence. But the speed of their response bothers him even more. They couldn't have prepared everything so quickly without inside information. Jonathan's suspicion turns toward a traitor within the Empire, and his thoughts settle on Nathan, whom he bitterly blames for failing to recognize the decline of his own country, while someone inside it was feeding information to the enemy. Jonathan's attendant warns that if things continue this way, Princess Carolina will almost certainly be recognized as a saint, putting her permanently beyond their reach. Jonathan already understands the danger and makes it clear that he will do whatever it takes to stop that from happening. He then asks whether the items have arrived, and his attendant confirms that they have, revealing a strange object. Jonathan studies it carefully before deciding that such a tool cannot be entrusted to just anyone. If they are going to use it against Carolina, it must be placed in the hands of someone with exceptional magical talent, someone capable of defeating her and, more importantly, keeping the entire operation secret. At the Arendt estate, Lady Monica sits quietly with her tea, lost in thought, when her maid suddenly approaches and whispers an unexpected visitor's name. Monica is instantly startled. Archbishop Jonathan has arrived. Moments later, Jonathan enters the room, and Monica greets him with flawless courtesy, welcoming him to the ducal house while keeping her surprise well hidden. Jonathan, meanwhile, is irritated by the young lady's composed attitude, but he calmly takes his seat and thanks her for accommodating his sudden visit. Monica wastes no time on pleasantries, making it clear that her time is valuable and demanding to know exactly what has brought him to her estate. Jonathan gets straight to the point and reveals everything he knows about Princess Carolina's divine power. Monica is stunned by the claim that Carolina possesses the same divine power as the Pope, but quickly regains her composure and asks what Jonathan expects from her. His request is simple. He wants Monica to defeat Carolina in the upcoming selection exam and become the Empire's chosen representative. Monica immediately recognizes the difficulty. If Carolina truly possesses divine power, defeating her once she stops holding back could be far more troublesome than expected. Still, the thought only makes Monica more wary, knowing that if Jonathan's story is true, Carolina's hidden power could become a serious obstacle. Jonathan admits that Monica would have little chance against Carolina in her current state, so he produces the strange item he brought and hands it to her. He explains that it is a mana-enhancing medicine capable of more than doubling the user's magical power. Monica immediately asks about the side effects, and Jonathan assures her that the only expected consequence is a fever lasting a few days. What he doesn't reveal is that he deliberately chose the gray version because it is weaker but safer. He needs Monica alive and capable of completing the task. In his mind, she should consider that precaution a favor. Monica accepts the gift with a knowing smile and decides to return the favor by revealing some valuable information. The imperial family has begun keeping an eye on Jonathan. The news catches him off guard, confirming that the empire is moving faster than he expected. Seeing his reaction, Monica offers him a way to hide from their attention, provided he gives her more details about his situation. Jonathan readily agrees, though privately he knows he can simply fabricate whatever information she wants. The orb he gave her was only the weaker gray one, after all. With their deal settled, Monica plans to consult her father and prepare several possible hiding places for him. Once Monica leaves, Jonathan is left alone with a more sinister problem. If Monica fails against Carolina, he still needs to decide who should receive the far more dangerous black orb. After hearing Monica's request, Duke Arent is puzzled by her sudden need for a hideout and naturally asks what she plans to use it for. Monica brushes the question aside, keeping her real intentions to herself. The Duke then shifts his attention to the upcoming selection exam and suggests that she spend some time practicing. Monica takes that as a challenge to her abilities, confident that failure is hardly something she needs to worry about. After all, she is considered the Empire's strongest wielder of holy magic. Her confidence is obvious, but beneath it lies a very different ambition. If she becomes a saint, she intends to use that position to secure a future with Prince Gilbert. Duke Arent then mentions that Princess Carolina will also be taking part in the selection exam, but Monica remains completely confident, convinced that Carolina has no chance of defeating her. Meanwhile, back at the royal castle, Carolina struggles with a very different problem. Instead of learning how to unleash her power, she has to master the art of holding it back, and that proves surprisingly difficult. With the exam only days away, Theodore urges her to stay focused. Carolina then wonders if Prince Gilbert will return in time, remembering that he is expected to attend the event and oversee the selection exam himself. Theodore explains that there is still no word of Prince Gilbert's return. Carolina figures that investigating Archbishop Jonathan while preparing for the selection exam may have been too much to handle at once, then returns to practicing her restraint. Before she can continue for long, Collet arrives with an urgent report. With Carolina present, Theodore allows him to speak, and Collet delivers unexpected news from Prince Gilbert. He is ready to move forward with the indictment of Archbishop Jonathan.